Hi everyone, Vickieverlie here. This is going to be the first video in the Starseed Lineage video series that I'm about to begin doing. A lot of people seem to be interested in their Starseed lineage and the different races that seeded the earth, and quite a few of that has come through in my Transmissions for Humanity book, and particularly this book 3 I'm going to do a few short videos just talking about what was said. And I've also done some paintings that I'd like to show you of the images that were coming through. So this was recorded originally October 26th of 2021, and this is from the Transmissions for Humanity book 3. And then the title of this chapter is Races. And I said, I'm interested in learning more about the different seedings of the earth. We talked about the leprechauns and the mountain people. That's other stuff. The mountain people is the Mulari. I'm doing a painting of them as we speak, but at this time I don't have it ready. And I said, what about the other races of people? This is me asking my guides. And they reply, there are many thousands of galactic races that have contributed DNA to your present day Earthwalkers. So the Earthwalkers are us. That's what they refer to us as. And then I said, well, what about brown-skinned people? Because, you always see the Pleiadians and they're all Nordic looking and tall and blonde. So I'm, trying to find out, well, there's plenty of brown-skinned people on Earth too. Where is their starseed lineage? And then they say, your science knows of a very early line that took hold and spread strong out of Africa. So I think that's the one that they are saying that's where all life originated, as far as our scientific discoveries know anyway. And they say, yes, current scientists believe that this was the origin of all mankind. That's me. And they say, yes, it is true that genome took a stronghold and is still present in many of the Earthwalkers of your present moment. And then they say, but again, we say, there are thousands of genetic contributors that form your present day humans. Some took a stronghold and others did not, as the Mulari, which is the mountain people, which I'm doing a painting of currently. When they say as the Mulari that we spoke of before. And I say, well, let's take that tribe out of Africa that is known to our scientists. Where did they come from? I'm just like keep pressing them. They're just kind of blowing it off like, well, there's millions of them. I'm like, well, I really want to tune into this, the African and other brown-skinned races. And then they say even they were a combination of factors. So even that wasn't just one seeding, they're saying. Okay, then this is me again. I say, since I sat down to write, I've been seeing a panther-like creature crawling around on all fours, but sort of human-like as well. And then they say, yes, they are highly advanced feline beings who walk the earth as well. They combine their DNA with the upright humanoids to create humanoid hybrids. And I'm saying, so you're saying black people are humanoid hybrids with cats? And they say, no, not in that way. There are feline and avian DNA segments in your current day Earthwalkers that your scientists have yet to comprehend. Some of the African races have evolved from the blue skin races of Sirius and Arcturus. You can sometimes see the remnants. And then I say, yes, I have seen black people who have bluish purple hue to their skin, and it is gorgeous. I said it was gorgeous, and it is. And they say, and then I say, now they're showing me scales like a fish or feathers with lots of colors. And then they reply, yes, the area was once a vast sea, so sea creatures were used as well. The color of the skin has evolved to adapt to the environment in which they reside and living close to the land. So I'm still pressing them. They're kind of just keep wanting to blow me off on this. And so I say, so there are no black or brown skinned peoples on other planets. I was kind of being a little sarcastic. And then they say, yes, there's every color of the rainbow. And I said, well, tell us about some of these races. And then they say, there are many, it's true. And then this is me recounting my vision. They were showing it more visually than in words. So here's me, I'm seeing black people with golden eyes, almost like a cat. Everything around them is golden and yellow tones, the trees, the grass, the birds in the trees. There seems to be music like wind chimes or church bells ringing out. I also hear humming, almost like chanting in low harmonies, similar to modern day African music. It seems like a place of great peace, almost like a monastery. Yeah, I remember that. Everything was gold and there was all this atmosphere. And then there's a hum, like those real low, it was all very soft and peaceful though. Like the Marvel world has come forward with, the whole Black Panther thing. Was it Wakanda and their warriors? And I'm sure there are warriors out there and everything, but this was very, very, very different from that. very peaceful, very wise, and a hum, very much like the African music. It's African music is very different from our traditional 1, 3, 5 chords. They use these weird chord phrasings, not weird, just very different from, you know, the Western world. It's a very different kind of musical thing. So I'm feeling like that from what I was hearing and seeing in this vision while I was asking these questions, that that's also something that has been carried through and carried down to the Earth race. So here they go. And I say, it seems like a place of great peace, almost like a monastery. And they say, yes, they were a race of highly skilled sound healers. Ooh, pretty cool, huh? They understood the nature of sound, and it was utilized in many ways throughout their society. The wind blowing through the metallic shapes you see generate enough energy to power the entire planet. Yeah, there were these, I'm going to show you the painting in a minute, but these diamond shaped, almost looked like maybe copper that had been patinaed because there's other colors in it and stuff. Really just beautiful and peaceful. Okay, then I say, I'm seeing the metallic diamond shape suspended in the air, similar to wind chimes, but with no strings. The sound and the music is coming up again. Yes, they use sound for healing and communication, not in the way your current Earthwalkers speak in language. It was more like an information highway consisting of sounds that many different types of expressions could travel through. Messages, healings, ideas, technology. No words are spoken or necessary. They communicate telepathically and through the grand resonance. The grand resonance is a stream of sound that connects their societies to one another, similar to your internet in some ways, but much more advanced. They are a peaceful society who work together to advance their race and others, a group of highly respected elders amongst the neighboring galaxies. Pretty cool stuff, huh? They, like many others, were not able to fully immerse into the Earth atmosphere initially. They remained on a vessel while infusing their DNA into several of the Earth creatures of that time, including the panther you saw in your vision. And then I say, so they infused their DNA with panthers and humans? And they say, yes, the infusion resulted in the panther creature and others as well, various birds and dinosaurs, and your modern day alligators. Okay, so I hope you guys can see this. This is the painting that I did. And actually, there's actually prints available too. But so what I did, this is the initial face. I'm going to blow it up a little. And I made sure that I got these golden eyes. This actually is kind of bright. It's actually more saturated, deep color. But I had to go with what I could go with. And then these are all the diamonds. And some of the diamonds were actually as big as the person, but I wasn't able to illustrate that in the painting. But many of them were like kind of as big as a person would be. And then this is all these swirly lines is like the atmosphere of the planet. It was like that. There was all these swirly lines, just like, you know, that really low harmonics, very similar again to the African music of today, or our knowledge of the African music. And then, of course, the golden eyes. You know, the golden eyes are the thing. This is really not saturated enough on the screen. So I'm gonna pull in some. There, that's more of the colors of it. There we go. This is more of the colors of it. I hope you guys are still seeing that. But anyways, yeah. And even a little bit deeper, you know, chocolate brown it is. But anyways, so yeah. And then the colors, I was trying to capture the colors of the, because within these triangles, there was all these other colors in there, almost like a copper, a patinaed copper. It was just gorgeous. The whole thing was just gorgeous and peaceful. So then here's how I depicted it. So here's this, and here's another thing. While I was doing the painting, I spent you can look at my sketchbook video. I did pages and pages trying to get this symbol right that goes on her nose. So I feel like that's some kind of important symbol to them too. And then of course the golden eyes. And then, so then I drew it coming down. And then here's all the light language and the DNA being programmed. And then of course we have the panther eyes, and then it going into the water. If I can get this to scroll down, and then the alligators and such in the water who also have these golden eyes, you know, so these golden eyes, it's golden energy, you know, but I like, you know, they're wise elders, they're healers, you know, they were a very wise race. And I was going to show you my process from start to finish also. I'm going to start at the beginning. So this was the first part of it. I just had like the sky above and the water below. And I was just drawing in all those swirlies because I wanted that swirly atmosphere, because it's definitely like that. And it was soupy, it was thick. And then at this point, what you're seeing, get rid of that, is just, that's a charcoal sketch. I was just doing that background, and that was my first charcoal sketch of the face that I wanted to add. And then here's the next one. I'm starting to put the cat eyes in. And originally I just had the one giant alligator or crocodile down here, you know, so that's, but then eventually I had to change it. It didn't look right. So there it is again. It looks like I took the alligator out on this one. I painted over it because I didn't like the way that looked. Oops. And I want to go to the next slide or whatever. And then here's, oh, I guess not. I did paint it in. This is still painting it in. Have the eyes and everything else in charcoal. The cat eyes are in charcoal, and so is the face. And then I started just laying in the yellow for the eyes because I knew they were very much yellow, golden, and then, you know, working more into the eyes. Again, progressing with the eyes. At some point I took that out. I took that one alligator out and changed it to many because that just didn't seem right. I know at some point I did paint over it. Well, I guess I don't have where I painted over it, but you can, let me just double check that it's this it. Yeah, I don't have it. Well, in the end, I did paint over it, and I did put a whole bunch of them in there. And then I even have the gold energy fusing with the blue for the sea creatures and that. So it's really cool. And I'm so glad that I was able to bring this information forward. This is just like a blurry picture too. It must be a very low res picture. But there's high res pictures, and it's much more deeper hues and saturated if you like this image, and there are prints available of it. But I'm just so glad that I was able to really bring this, you know, bring this story forward for everybody, because all you hear so far, well, you see the green men and then the blue avians and everything. Stop sharing. There we go. Come back just to me. There we go. But, you know, I was just like, there's a big piece of our humans on this earth right now. There's a big piece of that missing. But again, this is not the only race. They said, they were like blowing me off, like, you want us to describe thousands of races? It's impossible. But then I finally I kept persisting, and they did come forward with it. So interesting that I didn't get a name for them. Some of them I get a name for, and some of them I don't. Because I think because their language is not really, you know, a thing for, it's not, they don't speak in language. So a lot of times they don't speak in language. It's hard to put a word to it, but definitely peaceful. If I was able to connect to their energy, even though, albeit through my guides, I know many others will be connecting through their energy. And I think that's, as we enter this time of Pluto and Aquarius, we're going to start seeing more and more, because right now it's just like, well, am I Pleiadian, or am I an Arcturian, or am I, they say over and over again, year thousands of different ones. There was, all these seedings were going on for years and years and years. So I'm glad that I was able to bring these guys forward, and I'm sure many more people will be tuning into them as well, because they've kind of pierced that veil, so to speak, if you want to say it that way. But anyways, I'm going to do more of these videos, because there's at least 3 or 4 more in this book, and then I have some other ones and some other books. And again, the ones that they're coming through are not just this straight, oh, I'm a Pleiadian, oh, I'm an Arcturian. I think, and I was so into the whole Pleiadian thing too when it first came out, because it was just, for those of us who always knew that we were starseeds or whatever, you know, we always knew it since we were born. You know, it was just like, oh yeah, Pleiadian, that's what it is. You know, it was just the first thing to be identified. And I believe Barbara Marciniak, to my knowledge, was the first person to identify and bring it forward. So, you know, it's just like, yeah, I'm a Pleiadian. Yeah, I said that for years. As soon as I read that book, I was just like, yeah, I must be a Pleiadian too. But there's so much. And so it's not only about your genetic makeup in this human vessel that we find ourselves in now. Because when I first started, I was posting those images I just showed you, the process of it, and people of all races were like, wow, that's so cool. And, you know, they really resonated with it. And I feel like they had incarnations in that realm, you know. So it's not just about if you have brown skin or what color skin you have in this incarnation. Your soul may have had incarnations there as well. But also, it's just nice to know what's going in, you know, the genetic contributors, you could say, to the vessel that you are in, you know, because not all of us, I'm not blonde either. I'm not a Nordic, you know, actually I do have Nordic in me, but I mean, you know, it's not only these tall blondes, these that are humanoid, because these people were definitely very humanoid too. They definitely had like a human body vessel, and the music was so prevalent. I mean, maybe it's just me being a musician, but I was just, that music instantly felt familiar to me, felt peaceful to me, put me at peace, put me at ease. Okay, so there's some few more that are in this book that came through, and probably going to be more. And I hope that I've, you guys like it and found it interesting. If so, make sure you comment in below and everything. And if you do like it, and I'll start doing some more. I plan to do at least a few more, but if it really, if people really enjoy it, I can do lots more. We'll see where it goes. Okay. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, you are love and beauty incarnate. Have the best day ever. Talk again soon. Bye.